Tonight, a Cairns councillor fined for defamation.
2 boys charged accused of threatening teens with scissors.
A popular Uber driver reunited with his stolen dog.
And students get their hands dirty for sustainability.
This is 7 News with Joanne, Desmond and Nathan Spurling.
Good evening, thanks for joining us.
Good evening.
A Cairns councillor has been fined hundreds of thousands of dollars for defamatory Facebook posts he made in 2017 about the former head of the Local Government Association of Queensland, Greg Hallam. Rob Pine admits he'll probably face bankruptcy. Christina Puljak was in Cairns Civil Court.
Division 5 councillor Rob Pine has been ordered to pay more than $200,000 plus cover the costs of the court proceedings for his defamatory Facebook posts. Former CEO of the Local Government Association of Queensland, Greg Hallam, first began legal proceedings against Rob Pine and 4 others in February 2018. One of Pine's posts likened Mr Hallam to Star Wars character Jabba the Hutt.
It's not my fault he bears a resemblance to Jabba the Hutt on occasions.
Tablelands resident and anti-corruption campaigner Lynn O'Connor was also entangled in the case for separate posts defaming Mr Hallam. She too was ordered to pay more than $200,000.
All along, LGAQ and Mr Hallam have known that I have no capacity to pay the costs or the judgment amounts awarded.
Today, Judge Dean Morzone apologised to the court for the 6-year process. Now, Rob Pine says he's questioning his future as a councillor.
Obviously that would lead to probably bankruptcy and resignation as a councillor, because that's a part of the Local Government Act. The Local Government Act says you can't be bankrupt and serve as a sitting councillor.
Pine expects the total amount he needs to pay will exceed $2 million.
Thank you for that, Christina. 2 15-year-old boys have been arrested after they allegedly threatened another 2 teens in the Cairns CBD last night. Police allege the pair stole backpacks from a 14 and 15-year-old near the intersection of Shields and Sheridan Streets around 6:15. They are then accused of threatening to stab the boys with scissors. They've been charged with armed robbery and stealing and will face a Cairns court on November 6.
A Cairns Uber driver has been reunited with his pooch after it was allegedly kidnapped when his car was stolen yesterday. The vehicle hasn't yet been found, but the man says he's just happy to have his best friend back home.
It was meant to be a quick trip to the doctors, but for local Uber driver Sean Dunwoody, it soon turned into his worst nightmare.
I thought I'd lost her.
The 52-year-old left his best mate Munt inside his running car outside this Cairns North Health facility around 11:30am yesterday. But when he returned 20 minutes later, both the car and dog were gone.
I probably went into some sort of survival mode. I just realised that I had a problem that I had to deal quickly with.
It didn't take long for social media to light up in the search for his 8-year-old Shih Tzu Maltese cross.
I contacted those who I thought could immediately help, but I ran into people I'd never met before. I was door knocking last night through a number of the suburbs.
At 7:30 this morning, Sean's prayers were answered. Famous Cairns Uber mascot had been found.
It was beautiful. I love my dog.
Sean says he doesn't hold a grudge towards the kids that did this.
I would just like more understanding, more compassion, more forgiveness for these types of behaviours. I definitely don't blame the kids.
No arrests have been made and police are still looking for Sean's black Hyundai i30. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers.
I'm astounded, truly astounded, and very, very deeply grateful. So thank you to the Cairns community. It's wonderful.
Frank Russo, 7 News.
Well, heavy-handed COVID lockdowns and school closures have been slammed by a report into Australia's response to the pandemic. It shows trust has been severely eroded and lockdowns took a major toll on mental health, but Queensland managed more effectively than other states.
After enduring seemingly endless lockdowns, masks and vaccinations, Queenslanders are learning to live with COVID, but it was a steep learning curve.
Australia wasn't prepared, the world wasn't prepared for such a big, infection.
The COVID-19 inquiry was scathing of the states and those who imposed harsh border closures, particularly here in Queensland and in Western Australia.
We were the state first state to put in a public health emergency.
Data reveals 20,000 Australians died as a result of COVID. But despite the sobering statistic, people also lost trust in governments.
If you don't give people good reason for what you're asking them to do, particularly if it's a really big behavioural change, they're not going to do it.
I think we would probably not be as well off because of the lack of trust in the messaging that would come from governments and experts.
Mental health issues, particularly among children, surged.
Really those downstream effects on children who were not permitted or prevented from socialising with their peers and being in school.
One of the report's 26 recommendations highlights the need for a $250 million centre for disease control. Australia is the only OECD country lacking a national facility.
We desperately need one, and it shouldn't just be for managing pandemics or communicable diseases. We need a centre for disease control that provides national guidance on health across the board.
Hannah Watt, 7 News.
Stinger nets have now been installed on beaches across the north, marking the start of the high-risk season. Lifeguards are urging swimmers to stay between the nets, which are in place to protect beachgoers until May next year.
The whole stinger season, we are encouraging people to wear a full-length lycra suit. It's not only great protection for marine stingers, but also great protection from the UV rays.
There will be twice daily net drags to remove any stingers and to give lifeguards an indicator of the beach's risk level.
A Cairns primary student has inspired her classmates to help her plant more trees in a push to make the school grounds greener. The initiative has won Trinity Anglican School a global award for efforts in sustainability.
What started as a love for wildlife,
I like animals and I like helping them,
has now manifested as a new green space.
We're going to plant some trees with Rainforest Rescue. They provide the plants.
Nikita Kolshesla gathered her classmates to plant more than a dozen trees in the playground of Trinity Anglican School in White Rock. She did so as part of a global initiative called Round Square.
We ask our Year 6 students to somehow work on a sustainability theme independently to gain what we call a gold award.
The program aims to better the lives of students in more than 50 countries around the world by engaging in sustainable practices.
What she wanted to was to enhance it so we could attract more wildlife, native birds and such.
And Nikita won her school a Round Square award.
We were lucky enough this year to win a National Sustainability Award, which is part of our native garden.
Christina Pooljak, 7 News.
Nominations are open for the annual Australia Day Awards. Cairns Regional Council is looking for the next Citizen of the Year, Young Citizen of the Year and Volunteer of the Year.
They're everyday people that do amazing things. Our Citizen of the Year, she's a teacher aide at Parramatta State School.
Mayor Amy Eden encouraged locals to nominate others who have gone above and beyond, particularly during the flooding event last year. Applications close on December 15.
Make sure you get in. Now ahead tonight, a boil water alert for residents in Fishery Falls.
And a PBR champ makes a Cairns Families Day at Ronald McDonald House.
Cairns turns to 7 News to keep up to date on local issues, and we want you to be a part of it. If there's something happening in your street, your suburb, we want to know about it. Send us a message or drop us an email.
And thanks for joining us here on 7. A boil water alert has been issued for Fishery Falls following a UV light malfunction at the water treatment plant. Residents should use boil water for drinking, brushing teeth and washing and food preparation. Cairns Regional Council has apologised for any inconvenience and will be providing updates.
The manufacturer of the world's most popular agricultural plane has revealed it's made safety improvements after the death of a Western Downs man. 32-year-old Tom Gray lost control of his crop duster in 2022 when he experienced a bird strike. Josh Van Staden has more.
The crash in September 2022 was so severe, investigators say it was not possible for anyone to have survived. A coroner has now handed down a report into what could have been done to prevent it. 32-year-old pilot Tom Gray was found dead after not returning from routine crop spraying near Chinchilla. He'd been working for a family-owned business and was regarded as an experienced operator. A bird strike shattered the windshield of his aircraft while flying at 200 kilometres an hour. 5 seconds later, the plane hit the ground. As of June last year, the incident was the first time a fatal bird strike had been recorded with the plane in Australia. The aircraft is considered the world's most popular agricultural plane, manufactured by US company Air Tractor. The company says stronger and more durable windshields have been around for 15 years, but Tom's aircraft didn't have one. It has used even more advanced windshields in aircraft manufactured since the accident to offer a greater level of protection from objects like drones or birds. The coroner says the findings highlight the risk of crop dusting, especially when flying at low levels.
Thank you very much for that, Josh. Well, a Cairns family staying at Ronald McDonald House in Townsville are being recognised for their courage after their 6-month-old's battle with meningococcal. Professional bull riding's Matt Merritt presented the family with a special buckle for true grit on and off the dirt.
The Moss family are proving that courage and determination aren't just characteristics of a cowboy.
This award should forever be a symbol of being a champion, being tough, and everything that stands for cowboy.
PBR entertainer Matt Merritt awarded the family with a B Cowboy buckle, following their son's month-long battle with severe meningococcal.
It was pretty gold and shiny, and it was very big.
To have a 6-month-old going through what he has been, and to be here as a family going through it as well, that was actually really nice.
Matt says the toughest sport on dirt is nothing compared to having a sick child.
I think anyone dealing with what they're dealing with is much tougher than any of our bull riders, our protection athletes, or even our bulls. I'm the clown at the event, and no one wants to see a clown cry, but we almost got there today.
The family were also given tickets to the 2024 PBR Grand Finals in Townsville on Saturday.
Is there a ticket that you don't need parents?
Ronald McDonald House staff say it's a chance to leave the stress of the hospital behind.
We're just incredibly thankful for what they've done for us and this family.
Fans can win a signed Statesman hat and jersey at the charities raffle on Saturday. Bethany Ross, 7 News.
What a great gesture. I'm sure the family will really enjoy that bull ride too.
And, Maddie, no shame in shedding a tear there. Beautiful story, mate.
Let's have a look at some sport, and the regional Queensland gridiron season's about to begin, Nate.
It is this weekend, Joe, and the Cairns Falcons have a new coach for their opening battle with the Reef Bowl champs. And we have a Taipans import under investigation for a potential code of conduct breach.
Stream 7 News anywhere, anytime, live and on demand on 7plus. And with 7news.com.au, you'll know the news now.
And welcome back for all of tonight's sport. Taipan star Rob Edwards is under investigation by Basketball Australia for a potential code of conduct breach. Edwards was fouled out early in the final quarter of Sunday's game against Melbourne United, which saw Cairns get crushed by 43 points. The investigation reportedly involves an alleged inappropriate interaction with referees after the game. The Taipans will be desperate to keep Edwards on the court, with fellow imports Pedro Bradshaw and Tanner Groves no certainties to return from injury for Saturday's Sunshine Stoush with the Brisbane Bullets. Cowboys Griffin Neame and Jason Taumalolo have both attended a fan day with their New Zealand and Tongan teammates in Auckland ahead of Saturday's Pacific Championship showdown between the nations. NRLW cowboy Vitalina Nakora will play in the curtain raiser when Fiji takes on Samoa. And the Wingers captain is confident the hat-trick hero from last weekend will score even more tries if she gets the ball in space.
Finishing off of those tries for us. We've got such strong outside backs, and having V on the wing, she just, finishing off those tries for us, she's amazing.
And the winner of the Fiji and Samoa match will qualify for the next World Cup. The regional Queensland gridiron season begins this weekend as the Cairns Falcons begin their quest to reach the Reef Bowl. With a new coach and a new playing style, they're ready to resume their rivalry against reigning champions Townsville in round 1.
With the season opener just a few days away, the Cairns Falcons are ready to take on their southern neighbours.
We got a good squad that's returned back for the upcoming season. We got some new guys coming in, so trying to get them into the fold of things, and we're on the up and up.
After 2 seasons in Cairns as a player, Floridian Kelvin Acosta is taking over as head coach.
He's an absolute gun. He's been absolutely destroying us. So it's been really good. Been really enjoying it. It's been hard work.
I expect the squad that's going to be super disciplined, super conditioned, ready to go both ways as needed, and a little bit of diverse offense.
And the Falcons are putting the call out for athletes from every football code to pull on the shoulder pads and helmets.
If you're not doing anything and you need something to help you improve so you could be a better union, league, or AFL player, come here. I promise you're going to get skills that are going to help you improve.
When I get older, I definitely don't want to look back at this and be like, I didn't give it a go when it was here. So I definitely wanted to jump in and just give it a couple of reps. This is now my second season.
Cairns' first game is against the Townsville Cyclones, who've taken out the Reef Bowl 8 times in 10 years. But the Falcons say the champs are vulnerable.
Oh, we've just got some real dogs out there this season. I think this year we should take it easy. Townsville, obviously, a little bit hard going, but I think they're getting a bit old, so we'll see how they go.
It's going to be on the takens, mate, so Townsville, look out.
The season starts at Vico Oval on Saturday night. James Ingram, 7 News.
The inaugural season of the Women's Barrier Reef Bash has been a smashing success, with our region's best batters posting some huge scores. And the tournament concludes tomorrow night, where the Hurricanes will look to complete an undefeated campaign.
After several years of men's T20 action, this year's inaugural Women's Barrier Reef Big Bash has provided new cricketing opportunities in Cairns.
The pool is not as big as it is in some metro areas. I think it's very important that we support each other and cheer each other on.
The first season has seen the Hurricanes face the Thunder in 2 clashes at Griffiths Park. Last weekend, half-centuries to Elizabeth Mayer and Alana Romano saw the Thunder post 150, but they were no match for Abby Toshak.
This time she goes over the top again, square leg. 3 boundaries in a row. She does. She gets her girls home here.
The young captain smashing an unbeaten 93 off 65 balls, including 4 sixes to get the Hurricanes over the line. The Hurricanes are now 2-0 up with the final game tomorrow night in Edmonton. Then it's back to senior club action as Mulgrave look to go one better than last year's grand final defeat.
It's great vibing the team, lots of new faces this season as well, keeping pre-season nice and light, getting back into it.
And a pair of Far Northerners have been rewarded for their early season form. Aidan Furman and Seth McGinty have been named in the 15-man Queensland Under-19 squad. The squad will be trimmed to 13 ahead of December's National Championships in Adelaide. James Ingram, 7 News.
Let's hope Aidan and Seth make the final cut, Joe, and that's it for our sport tonight. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Nath. Stay with us after the break. Livio joins us and he'll have all the weather details for us.
Well, good evening. Livio Regano with tonight's weather. It's been an almost rainless day across the Sunshine State, but that will change from tomorrow as thunderstorms start brewing inland and slowly drift towards the coast. They'll just be isolated. It's also going to get really warm for the second half of this week as we welcome November into the playing field. Temperatures today ranged from 20 degrees at the bottom end to low 30s at the top. The warmest were Cairns and Mareeba, where the mercury hit 32 degrees. To the satellite loop now, quite as expected. In fact, most of the activity is now around the Gulf country, where in fact there's a heat wave warning at the moment too, to add insult to injury. But certainly very quiet across Queensland, with no real evidence of convection or showers or thunderstorms going of any significance. Now on today's chart, you can see the inland trough has drifted a long way west. There's supposed to be an H in the middle of that ring. In other words, just a weak high sitting over Queensland, and that's led to very light winds and generally good boating weather across the state. We'll coastal weather, I should say. On tomorrow's chart, though, the inland trough starts to drift further east, closer to the coast, and we start to see the development of northerlies. They're hotter winds, and they'll start to strengthen, making boating conditions a little bit more choppy. Storms will form on the trough and start to head towards the coast, but they will be mainly inland. On the outlook chart, though, as the trough heads further east still, that's the best chance for southern coastal areas to get a thunderstorm before a cool change finally moves in the form of that trough on Saturday, bringing the temperature down by a few degrees. Not in the tropics, though. So now the latest from BOM, the boating forecast for Cairns waters, east to southeasterly winds, 10 to 15 knots only tomorrow, then shifting a little bit more northeasterly on Friday and straight easterly for Saturday. Tomorrow's almost new moon, so tides are getting pretty big. We start the day with the first of two high tides, the second being late in the evening, with a low tide in the afternoon. For the North Tropical Coast and Tablelands, bright and sunny tomorrow, Cairns 21 to 31 degrees, Atherton 28, Innisfail 29 and Mareeba 31. Looking ahead for Cairns, not much rain's forecast for the next week. We're not expecting much movement in daytime temps, but nights will start getting a little warmer and more humid on the weekend. For Atherton, we also do see a change in temperature. Notice the change from 30 degrees on Saturday back down to 27 for Sunday, Monday. And that's all the weather for tonight. Pleasure to have your company, and thanks for watching 7 Local Weather. I'll be here again tomorrow with the next page of the Great Weather Book. Hope you can join me. Now it's back to the team.
Great, thanks for that, Livio. And that's all from us for this Wednesday night. Thanks for your company.
Just a reminder, if you'd like to see anything again from our news, you can view it on 7plus or download the 7 News app. So from everyone here, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.